Hello again and welcome. Today I'm giving myself a reward because I was a very good girl today. I did all of the pictures for the 25 new items I'm going to be putting in my Etsy shop. About 2/3 of the way through I almost gave up and I said, nope, no. What do you want to do this afternoon, Carol? And it was to make another spread in my junk journal, and I was so looking forward to it, and it is a reward for me. So, mission accomplished on that, and that is so not something I enjoy doing. I actually rather enter them onto the Etsy shop than take pictures of them. Crazy, but me. So, I have pulled this sheet out of my journal, and the paper is a little bit thin, but that's all right. I'm so learning how to solve problems like that now. I took a few moments and I rounded the corners and got out some of my Ceramcoat GP Purple. And I'm going to just put some paint around the down the center and around the edges here. Something that I've just decided that I like to do because it gives me some sort of a parameter, and since I'm coming to terms with the fact that I don't see many people use paint in a junk journal, well, I guess Carol does. And that's good too, because we're each our own artist. I've picked some papers. And this one is going to, this spread is going to be a little bit of a purple thing. And probably the main reason was this piece of paper that I sprayed with my glimmer mists last week. Well, I just love that piece of paper, and I wanted to use it. And since all of that making painty papers was new to me, I had to play with my new toy. If you will notice, I did not add any water to this brush to get the acrylic started, because I want to limit the amount of wet medium that I put on here. So, that's mission accomplished. And this is a little piece of a dollar store cutting board that I've cut up, and that was left over from a piece of something else, and it just works wonderful when you want to do just a small thing. And now I'm going to, well, I think I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes because I can move on to my next project. This was the paper, the painty paper, and I've decided to use this to do something that I had seen when watching the experts work on their journals, Lori Marie and Gail and Linda Israel. So I've decided that I'm just going to try this as an experiment for this, my first try. Well, yes, there are 3 pockets there. And I think I'll turn this one under just a little bit. So, this could be a pocket in the back. This is a pocket. This is one. I now am going to go over to my $14.95 little sewing machine that I got at Tuesday morning about 6 months ago, and to sew down and up and the sides on this one. And I'm going to show you. I just did my first one. And when I say $14.95, I'm not kidding. Runs on batteries. It sounds like a steam engine, but I was able to do this with it. Yes, it did sew. And this was my first try. This was also a piece of that painty paper. So this is going to be the big brother of, and so I'm going to go over to my other table. Well, actually I don't need to do that, but you also don't need to hear the noise that this little thing makes. I'll be right back. Well, I am so wondering how long I'm going to be able to stand that little goody, because my mother taught me to sew when I was 8 years old, and but I guess the fact that this is a little dip here on this side, considering that that little contraption is doing its best, maybe I should just be a little bit tolerant. Well, we'll see how long. I've had these, I don't know why, for how long, but it looks like I am going to have a reason to have these. Yes, I am. It's a brave new world here, and I'm just loving the fact that I can play with all of these toys in one place. It's just wonderful. Oh, God, Carol. Goodness gracious, girl. Okay. Well, would have helped if you'd lined that up properly. No worries. I'll think of a plan B. Right now, however, I want to cover that stitching. Why? Because that would aggravate me. And today's not the day after all of that picture taking this morning. Just not good. Ew, not bad. Not bad. So, now I'm going to let those dry, and I'm going to have a think about that top. Or maybe not. So, yes. Yes, yes. Now, I want to use this lovely sheet of paper, and There we go. Want to leave a little bit of a frame. There. And there. Let me see if yes, there it is. There it is. And, there it is. So, I guess not so much, Carol. This is just going to be one of those days, isn't it? Alrighty. That will work. Saved. I'm saved. And mission accomplished for that one. Now I'm going to need, I want this darker one. Yes. Now I'm going to put you out of your misery and do this gluing off camera. Let's see. Oh yes. And where is it? Where are you hiding? There you are. I'm thinking I'm going to put this here. Well, there's cheating and cheating, Carol. So, I'm going to glue these two down. I'm going to use some of my Stays On Royal Purple to distress this. And I'm going to glue it down also and leave an opening up here so that I can use that as a pocket also. I will be back. Well, I have taken some time to go into my stash and found some of these rub-ons, and I found this envelope in which I received an order that I made at Etsy, and I thought, oh my, yes, we'll have that, because the background paper shows through. I'm going to, this is my first experience with rub-ons. Ever. Why I just don't know when to stop. And I don't know if you can peek. So I'm just going to rub my brains out until I hear one of you tell me to stop. Okay, let's see what happens. Lord, nothing good. And they're not new. Yeah, nothing good. Let's see. Maybe they're stickers. I don't know. But I love that. So I'm going to see how crazy I am. And I'm going to put on, yes I am, I'm going to fussy cut. Yes I am. I'm going to fussy cut. No, okay. I guess age has gotten into the equation. So, I'm going to put this aside. Until I find out whether these puppies will fit up here on the flap over this lacy bit. Oh yes, I think I like stickers much more than rub-ons. But these rub-ons, I have no idea how old they might be. I have no idea at all. And maybe this one. And then if I open this side, I can glue it on. I can have a pocket back here. A pocket here. And then I found this one And I thought this might be pretty as a flip. So, you see my path. Now I have to get myself out of this little bit of misery as best I can. But now, as I'm sure many of you know, because it has happened to you, you've reached a determined factor. And I will return when we have a little magic here. Or else I have been hospitalized. When last we spoke, I was thinking that only a crazy person would have fussy cut these, but as I said, I was insistent and I did it, and it was not the job I thought it would be, probably because this is on a heavyweight clear plastic base. And I glued them down carefully with some of this fine line adhesive tech glue. I don't know where I found it. I've had it for ages, and it does work a treat. So I have my pocket here and a back pocket here. I decided to close this side up again, which I did with a little bit of tacky glue. And as you can see, I cut down this envelope and attached it with a washi tape, which I used with Yoo-Hoo glue. No, I'm sorry, it was my Elmer's Extreme. And I chose this color for this because it worked with this color in my posy, which I'm going to keep over here. So now, thanks to spending time watching Linda Israel and Gail Augustinelli, I am just raring to go and feeling 1,000 times more confident, so I'm off. I have a new toy, as you can see. I found a group of these at an antique mall for only $4 a piece, and I was able to score 4 of them, and I'm just loving what happens when they are used, and I'm just tickled. And today I used a 55% coupon at AC Moore, and I finally invested in a, ready for it, a crocodile. And I actually think I have figured out, thanks to my husband, how to work it. But not today. So I'm thinking that this one here, I've pulled out one of my pads and found this, which has a bit of purple on it, so I folded this in half, and I thought that might be a wonderful journaling spot, and it would fit quite nicely in here. And I'm going to have to do some trimming because I want to tuck this in here, back there, and I'm going to remove top of that. And then I went in my trove and found some papers that had a little bit of purple on them, and I thought they might be nice applied to some paper. And I think the first thing that I'm going to do is cut out a strip for over here, and I have in mind something to do with it. So let's goodness. Let's watch Carol get over enthusiastic or overexcited or both. Well, I want this to slide, so when all else fails, a husband run. Well, didn't I just learn that there is a groove down here? Yes, yes. But I'm beginning to, I think I finally might be having the works and the wherewithals and the ins and outs of the crocodile in my head, so that's a wonderful thing. And I'll have to give that a little playing. Alrighty, now this I want to put here, but I'm looking at the green leaves and here on the posy, and so my old standby stencil is going to be back in action. With Ceramcoat Leaf Green. Whoops, out of the way. It's probably much more than I need. It is really quite incredible. I was out doing errands today and driving around, and my head was all in what I could do with this journal and other journals. And let's see, yes, that needed just a little bit. Just a little bit of green on this side. And maybe just a tiny bit of pansy. Oh, and my very favorite eggplant that isn't being made anymore. A discontinued color. And as you can see, I'm babying this bottle. Now Let's see what size brush I want to use for this major artistic chore. Oops, they're all the same size there. All right, let's go down a peg. Aha! There we go. There we go. I don't want to overdo. This is a junk journal, so it's going to be a little touch of Carol, but not the usual craziness about perfection. Probably why I'm enjoying this. In fact, my husband came into my studio and he looked at this worktop and he said, "How are you handling that, Carol?" And I said, "Well, it's different, but I'm loving it." So, I do believe that I have found out that having all of this media around me is part of the joy of this. I think it makes me see possibilities where I might not have with one of my typical pristine workplaces. Quite enough. Quite enough. Now they are going to take a while to dry. Alrighty, let's have an audition. Yes, I think that's exactly what was needed there. Now I'm going to put this aside because those dots are thick. Now that one over here. Let's see about this in here. Yes, could be. All right, out of harm's way. These two pieces of paper on which I found some purple that I thought might be a pretty addition. What is happening there? Oh, isn't life just wonderful? thinking that there. Yes, and I think I'm going to be needing a new blade up here. And now that I know that there's a nice little groove, it'll be an easy thing to do. Because thankfully, once I get something in my head, I usually manage to keep it there. Well, when I understand the workings of that crocodile, and once I see it in my mind, it's makes a whole difference. Right now, let's see about this pocket situation over here. I believe I have some other items that might work. Yes, let's see if any of these might be nice as journaling spots. I think that might work. Thinking that might just be a good thing. And maybe one of these added into this pocket. Very nice. Plus, possibly, I think I've learned that, in my case at least, talking to myself seems to be part of this process. That might go in here. Yes. I'm wondering if some of these might show through and follow up with that top. These have obviously been around for quite a while, and I'm happy to be finally using them, because the lady who had all of this magnificent scrapbooking, all of these gorgeous supplies, and had them so well categorized and handled and put away and in control. sure she would be tickled to know that they were finally being appreciated and put to good use. Well, mission accomplished. Now, let me talk to this. I'm back to my royal purple. And so I'm going to distress all of these pieces. And have a little bit more of a think. Yes, that's going in here. Then I have to distress those. And do something here. And here and here. And I will return. Finally, I've distressed. And while I was distressing, of course, I was thinking. So I will show you what I did over here and share that with you momentarily. I have not yet glued this down here, but I will. This card is in here where I had planned for it to be. And now I'm working on this pocket. And I thought, you know, I really need some more of these. Let me look. Look what I found. I found some fun stuff. I found some pockets, some corners, some stickers. Alrighty, so I thought these stickers might work a treat here. Just to add a little of that fugitive green that we have going here. And one more here. And the last one. And then I went a little further, and lo and behold, oh yes, oh yes, yes. Just one large one maybe, up here, and that, and this will go in this pocket. And what else? Oh yes, I went and got out my painty paper, and I decided that one pocket that I almost forgot. And that would not be a happy thing. I wonder if it's going to be possible to do two at once. Oh, yes. Okay. Now, Lord, yes, yes. I can hear Gail saying, Carol, don't forget to do this before you put it in. And now I'm not sure that I measured it sufficiently. I might have to cut that shorter. Let's see. Yes, this is definitely going to need to be a bit shorter. Okay, we can do that. About that much down here. Let's take it right in the middle of that motif. Gone. And now I have a journaling spot right up there. And I just had a brainstorm. Here comes another one of my storms. Whoops. Must remember to do that. But storm time. Definitely storm time. This is probably not what should be happening, but there are no shoulds in art, are there? The only ones that you have a should on are the ones you inflict on yourself. Okay. So, let's see about that. And one more from this one. And the last one. And then I think I'm ready for show and tell. There it is. It was in further than I thought it was. just the tiniest touch of green. And the last one. So let's see if we have all the bits. No, we don't. And now I've decided that I must stop being bound by color now that I'm a little bit more used to junk journaling. All right, let's see the middle. Let me get this puppy out of the way. And I'm going to put my fingers in the glue, is what I'm doing. Putting my fingers right in that glue. Okay, Carol, let's do this now. Yes. Done. Now, before I begin to share all of this with you, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. So that I can spend a little time sharing this with you. I wished at the beginning I had remembered to distress these 2 sheets of paper at the very beginning, but I didn't. So, cleanup time, and I'll be back. Well, now I can take a deep breath and really enjoy. And I just noticed that this moved, probably when I was moving it around, but live and learn. So, let's start over here. This is one of my posies. This is a journaling spot that I corner punched, and that's going to go in the back of that folded, pocketed spot. And then here I had this little bit of paper and decided to use a stapler and turn it into a little secret journal. I don't know why I seem to think this part is something that tickles me quite as much, and I do enjoy making them. So here I have just a little tiny one that can be written in or not to share secrets or not. And here I used a piece of the paper and I corner punched this other paper, glued them together, and laid down a little bit of gold washi because of the gold over here on this washi. Another little journaling card. Another one. So this one is up here. This tall one is down here. This is in front of it. And the little secrets journal, it's right here. And the posy also in this back pocket. And over here, my flip out with a journaling card, a folder, and a journaling card. And my glassine envelope that came with the merchandise that I ordered from a vendor on Etsy. So I'm putting it to good use in here. I have this journaling card with the stamps from my trove. And in the back, a painty paper that I made, and thought that this would kind of finish off this page and give more journaling space. So here it is. I really enjoyed it. I am starting to get the feeling about these small additions and how important they are to the junk journal concept, and I'm loving doing them. And if you have enjoyed watching me work on this extravaganza in purple, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share with a friend, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Bye until the next time.